How's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's doing great today. That's right. Everything will come true for you once you know how to do this. Today I want to talk about using your mind to create your reality and how to change and get out of the stuck momentum you may be in. So, can we just get into it, right? How's everybody doing today? Again, happy holidays. All right, something that I've been thinking about is that we do a lot of stuff to create our lives, right? But I think one of the things we miss, and this will help people tremendously, is it's not really about what comes in, it's how we react to what comes in. Now, you may have known this before. Hey guys, everybody's coming in here. Oh, happy holidays, Merry Christmas here. Thank you, thank you. Hey guys, it's nice to see all of you here. Beautiful souls, right? Happy holidays, Grand Rising. Thank you, MKE 999. So you love those powerful angel numbers. Hey guys, good to see all of you here on this here. Happy holidays to each and every one of you. All powerful and lovely souls you are. The tribe manifesting. So let's give you some more tools or some more insights or some more awareness that you can use to really enhance and change your life. We all deserve it, right? Every one of you deserve what you desire. Don't let anyone ever says, oh, you don't deserve it, or let anything come in your way and say you don't deserve it. You all deserve it. The thing that's not deserving of it is your ego, man. Your ego is just this program that's just stuck and messed up. But you all deserve everything. Greetings. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? All right. So check this out. All right. So the key to master or create whatever you want, guys, it lies in the brain, in your brain, how your brain processes information, but predominantly how you react to the information your brain processes. Now, this may sound a little counterintuitive, but this is how it works. All right. So here's how the brain works. So have you ever wondered why, like, when you worry a lot, when you get frustrated, when you get stressed out, you seem to attract more negative stuff, more of the stuff you like worry about, stressed about. It seems to exasperate. For example, ever notice, like, when you're having a bad day, the whole day just turns bad. When you're having a good day, the whole day just turns good. What's happening here? Well, it's the brain prioritizes things based on importance. And here's how it works. Remember, when I talk about the brain, I'm speaking about the subconscious or the unconscious part of the brain. Now, I'm not going to talk about the logical, analytical part of the mind, because that's that part of the mind we can understand and we can see what's going on there. I'm talking about we're going into the unconscious part of the brain, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind. So let me give you an example of that. All right, so here's what happened. So whenever you have a bad day, right? You're like focusing on the bad day, but you don't want to have a bad day. Like when you worry about something, you're worrying about that thing, but you in your conscious mind, you think that worrying is going to help to alleviate that thing, or focusing on it can find solutions to help it. But the brain doesn't see it that way. The brain sees, oh, we're more focused on this stuff here. So based on what we're focused on, he or she wants more of that. That's our reaction. So basically, how we react to external stimuli or things that happen in our life, our brain prioritizes that as important. You see, your brain does the body and the brain does a remarkable job of filtering out stuff. Guys, think about this. Every single day, there's so much things. Thank you guys for the 99. Think about it. Look, the clothes on my hands, the jewelry, whatever you're wearing. Your brain filters it out every day. You don't even feel it. You know it's there, but all these different senses, you're breathing. Your brain filters out the breathing. Do you stand there and notice I'm breathing? Do you stand there and notice, oh, the clothes on my hands? I feel the jeans on my. No, those are all stimuli in the brain. Even in your head, there's circulation going on, there's all these things going on, and your brain filters those stuff out. Why does the brain filter those stuff out? Tell me why the brain filters those stuff out. The reason the brain filters those stuff out, because they're not important. You ignore them, you don't pay attention to them. So when you don't pay attention to them, the brain says, oh, okay, so this is not important. So it puts it in the background. You get what I'm saying here? Think about that when it comes to manifesting. Blessings, thank you. Thank you. I am Bus Money. Yes, Carol. Thank you for the donation, 1999. So let me go again. So the brain filters out stuff. All right. Now, there's always things going on in our heads. Some people can hear like sounds in their ears and all that. The brain that filters. Sometimes if you have like problems with your ears or infection, you get like ringing and all this other stuff going on, and that's always going on in your brain. But sometimes you have an infection, makes it worse, and you can hear those stuff. But over time, the brain can actually filter those out. There's always going to be stuff going on. I'm using this as an example to show you something. So, for example, all right, if you kept focusing on your breathing or the clothes, the brain one day will start to make that important. So every day you get up, you'll start to feel your clothes on your body. But because you're subconsciously tuned, or neuroplasticity has already been adopted, even when you try to focus on it, you go back to your old pattern, which is because you've been doing it for so many years. Now, it's called our reaction. So check this out. So whatever happens, I gotta turn off my sorry, let me turn off the what is this? Yeah, so you can hear. Good. All right, let me go back. So, whoa, sorry, I don't know what happened. I lost you guys for a second. Okay. All right. Now, back to what I was saying. So, what the brain does, the brain filters stuff based on our importance. Now, check this out. So, let's say whenever you're, okay, let's say something happened in your reality, right? Let's say there's a situation and you deemed it bad situation, right? How you react to that situation. See, for me, my view is everything just is, right? So I adopt the mentality that everything is neutral, and based on how I approach it, I give it a meaning. So I could give something that some people may seem bad. I may see that as like a feedback loop. I don't see anything like failure. I see things as feedback. Some people may see what I see as bad, so they react different. What they're doing is they're training their brain through neuroplasticity to see that's important. So when my reaction to it, so if I react different than you, if you react to something that's bad, that you think is bad, your brain thinks that's important. So now it's not going to filter out the other stuff. It's going to see that as important and put that at the top. So like, for example, if part of your life is like, man, why can't I make enough money? Why is it taking so long to manifest? All this stuff. So now that becomes important to the brain. Now we're talking about the brain. I'm talking about the subconscious now. Now when the subconscious says, why is it taking so long to manifest? Why isn't it here yet? Why can't I make enough money? Why can't I find a special person? All that. In the subconscious world, it is now seeing that, okay, I want more of that same pattern. So now it's going to prioritize, it's going to show you evidence of why it's taking so long, why it's not working, why you're not making the amount of income you want. But in your conscious, that's what I told you, that's what I'm saying to you. It is a very counterintuitive, but in your conscious mind, you think by asking that question, you're going to get an answer or a solution. You have no clue that when you're asking that, you are telling the brain, this is important. Fear is important. Worry is important. Why it's not happening is important. And now the brain, what it does, it puts that at the top. And that's going to create the neuroplasticity. If you do this over time means a long period of time, it will start to become a part of your reality. So guys, the truth is, it's not what happened. It's how you react to what's happening. That's the secret to changing your reality. Did you get that? Because how you react is going to tell the brain what's important. So when my advice is, and what you should start to do when things happen in your life, don't look at anything as a failure. Look at everything as feedback. That will start to get the brain to see that, oh, this is non-threatening, this is okay. So if it's a feedback, the brain becomes more neutral and you start to get better experiences, and before you know it, you'll change from a negative attractor factor to a more positive attractor factor. Do you see how that works? Yes, tell them again, Tanji. I hope y'all getting this. Is a subconscious mind in another dimension? Yet, not only is the subconscious mind in another dimension, you, the observer, the watcher, I like to call it, which is the higher self, is also in another dimension. The only thing that's in a dimension in here is a 3D dimension is your physical body. Everything else from the observational point of view, you are in another dimension. You are a watcher. And the reason why you're in another dimension is because you can observe the body. You cannot, the observer or the watcher and the physical body cannot be in the same dimension. If they are in the same dimension, then they are one. But the fact that you can observe the observed, you have to be in a separate dimension to watch it. Just like if you're at home and the TV is playing, you're watching the TV. The television or what you're watching on TV or the computer, it's in a place, it's another state or whatever. You consider another dimension, but you're over here. You're not in the same type of dimension. Do you see how that works? What can I say to get to manifest a house? Okay, same thing. You can start to visualize, you can start to write, you can start to use these question formats I put forth out to you guys. And the most important thing is you have to show the brain evidence of the possibility of you having it. You have to prepare for what you want. I would go buy a welcome mat for a new home. I'll start looking at things at new home. I always say you got to prepare for your manifestation. Preparation, that people ask me, well, why do you take action? There's the action part of it. You take action. Now, remember, now I want to go back to how you react. Okay, Mark, you go to shop and realize they have returned more changes than what's it? Turn just even, thank you. Okay. What if you're awakened to the true nature of reality and your partner is not? How to keep healthy relationship both on different spiritual level. Okay, that takes now empathy, and that's going to take patience and understanding. Whenever you are more awakened or more enlightened than your partner is, you can't judge or berate people. You have to understand, and it's like a child. You have to be more empathetic on that, and then hopefully you guys can get along to meet in the same state of mind. Mark, what is super secret in the world? Well, I'll tell you a super secret beyond the world, beyond in the entire universe. You came from nothing, and everything you see came from nothing. So the secret to manifest, a super secret to manifest anything in your entire life, is you have to adopt the mind state that everything is nothing. If you adopt the mind state that everything is nothing, you then get everything. How does that work? How do I adopt a mind state that everything is nothing? Remember now, mind state of mind means that when I look at everything, it is no longer important or bigger than me. So I take everything and I make that nothing. That's what I mean. $1 million, $1 billion, fancy cars, houses, whatever I want, people situate. I look at all of it in one category. I don't categorize anything. You should never categorize stuff. When you categorize stuff, you give it power or you give it certain importance. Everything and everyone is the same. It comes back to nothing. When this part of our universe came into existence, it came from a fine point called a singularity. This was, I think, 1 billion times smaller than the atom, and this created our part of the universe. So how it works is our part of the universe came to birth from a dying universe. See how this stuff works? We discovered this now that we have actually parallel universes. So look at it like this. These universes, they in a, like a soup bubble. So there's bubbles of universes. Like, you take a little thing, you blow. See the bubbles? We live in a bubble. So look, sometimes when these bubbles, they go like this. Sometimes when the bubbles touch each other like this, what happens? Some of the bubbles pop, some of them join. So what happens is when these bubbles touch each other, it created the Big Bang, and that created our part of the universe. So we have always been here. See, so the energy cannot be created or destroyed. So when that bubble touched, that's when it created that singularity. That singularity now expanded and created you and I. So we came from that nothing. So if you understand the biggest secret to the law of attraction, to change anything you want, you know that this. So where does all this stuff come from? It's in a field. It's called the quantum field. From this field gives rise to our consciousness or awareness. Now, consciousness, your awareness, uh, formed the universe. It's part of this universe. There's intelligence in this universe. Because in the atom and in the electrons and the molecules to make that stuff up, they have intelligence. Look at evolution. Evolution knows survival of the fittest. It just knows to evolve in the right thing. That's an intelligence that's programmed in there. And that's who you are. You are the universe experiencing a physical three-dimensional thing. So you people are very powerful, but yet you've been dummied down. You've actually been dummied down and programmed and you're actually been in a hypnotic trance through what I call the matrix. Schools, teachers, parents, all this stuff around you, they literally dummy you down. They stop you from using your imagination, or they limit you from using your imagination. One of the biggest secrets too, someone asked me, is the power of your imagination. Okay? What is the multiverse? The multiverse is just what it says. It's multiple universes. These universes exist just like us. In these multiverses, some of these multiverses, they have versions like you and I. So in some of these multiverses, they have different versions of different life. The laws of physics may be slightly off a little bit. So in some of these multiverses, time actually runs backwards. Like in our universes, we see time like going forward, right? An illusion. Some of these universes, they're regular people. There's a copy of me, there's a copy of you in that universe. But in their universe, time runs backwards. So if they look at our universe, they'll think our universe is weird because they say, time's going forward. But to them, to us, it looks like time's going backward. But to them, time's going regular. And they look at us, time is going forward, which is to them, it's going backwards. So these are all mind-boggling things that's happening, right? One's life destiny. Can you speak on it? Now, can you affect manifestation? So when we talk about destiny, everything is predetermined as a blueprint. So it's like you have a blueprint of your destiny. Here's the blueprint. Now, what is a blueprint? Remember, a blueprint is not a final destination. A blueprint is looking at it and say, this is overall. You can adjust blueprints. That's where the illusion of your free will comes in, that you have a choice to make because you can adjust your blueprint. But your blueprint is already determined. Like an example, an architect will have a blueprint. Usually the building won't come out exactly the way the blueprint wants it, but it'll come out damn close to it. So that's the same thing with your destiny. You have different ways to do this. Someone says, Edison says, this is trippy. I dived into this while in deep meditation. Yes. The double slit experiment already proves consciousness awareness creates a physical reality. Yes, that's correct. That's correct. Mark, can you go in depth on how to meditate? How do you meditate? Mark, so meditation. Okay, so someone was asking me, I did this on Instagram live I was doing the other day. Someone says, when I meditate, can that remove my subconscious blocks? No. Meditation will not remove any subconscious blocks. Meditation helps you to remain centered and open. That's what meditation is. So if you want to correctly meditate, it's very simple. You sit in a quiet place. All you do when you sit in that quiet place, you take nice deep breaths in, and then you tune in to your breathing. You just watch it or listen to it and just let your mind go free. Or you can choose to have positive things come in your mind, things that are not too excited. Meditation is about relaxing. But the main point is to use your ego to be distracted by focusing on your breathing. All right, Mark, what are your thoughts like on a daily basis? My thoughts go just like everybody else's thoughts. I attempt to keep positive thoughts, but as you know, you can't do that all the time. The more the more downloads I'm getting, the more stuff the universe is showing me, the more I'm understanding the mind body differentiation and connection. So I'll notice that some days, without anything, my mind will be off. There's nothing I wasn't doing. I was focusing positive. But now I realize it's the body. See, the body is in a 3D form. The mind is in another. So that's what I'm telling you guys. Sometimes your body will go wacky or crazy, or you have different mood swings. Don't worry, it's natural. But overall, I attempt to keep my mind just focus more on what I want and be more in the present. That's the secret, right? How do you slow down or stop the chatter in the mind? The thing about the mind is this: the mind will always chatter. Yes, you can slow the mind down, but the most important thing that can free you from the mind, from the ego, is to separate yourself from yourself. Separation from the ego gives freedom to your consciousness. And what do I mean by that? Separation is very easy. To separate yourself from the ego is to go into your head. All of you can do this right now. Let me teach you how to separate yourself from your ego right this minute, and you'll never go back the same again. Here's how it works. And if it comes back again, you do this exercise all the time. Here's what you do: you sit after, whenever you get off this laugh, whatever, you can sit somewhere quiet and then just go in and listen and watch your head watch the thoughts in your head. While observing the thoughts in their head, get this now. Here's the thing. Ask yourself this question. Say just like this: wait a minute. I am observing the thoughts, which means I am separate from the thoughts. That's it. You do that, you become separate from your ego, and your ego recognizes that now. And when you do that, then you can just judge all things as neutral. So now every thought that comes into your head, you don't attach a label to them. You only attach labels to thoughts that will make you manifest what you want. So this is more for the negative thoughts. So all the negative thoughts, you don't no longer have to attach a label now. You just say, oh, that's a thought. Okay, that's just something I don't want. And now that the mind chatter will slowly start to go down. Because remember what happens, guys. The brain is looking to filter what's important. So when the brain notices that these mind chatters aren't affecting, aren't important, it filters them out. They no longer pose a threat to you. See how that works? I love these 9.99s you guys are giving me today. It's so good. Thank you. Thank you, Alexis Smith. Happy holidays. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, guys. Yes. So these are ways that you can change your ego. Now, let's talk about the self. Someone says, I've been winning on scratch offs. Good. Excellent. I've been winning a couple scratches here too. I had some nice wins there. I had like $8,000 a few days ago on some scratch wins. How do I slow down or stop the chatter? All right. So let's talk about the self, right? Mark, what do you think about UFOs and why is it a secret? I'll go into that next. So let's talk about the self first, because this is important for you to understand. This is gonna be a theme a lot. A lot of videos will have this, because I need this. This needs to be inculcated into your head, because this is the freedom to get what you want. To manifest or create whatever you want, you have to understand that there is no you that exists. Repeat that again. To manifest and create whatever you want, the I and the you does not exist. It is a made-up system of repetition and program and patterns in the frontal part of the brain. We have delved into the brain. Neuroscience scanned every part of the brain. They can't find yourself. Repeat that again. Neuroscientists know every part of the brain. They know where it houses emotions, all that. There is no part of the brain that has the I or the me or Mark Haughton, my personality. None of that they cannot find in the brain. So the self is an illusion. It does not exist. What's actually happening is a broad system, independent system of stuff Over here is the emotions. Over there is that. Over there is that. All that system of different branches of system, the mind is so smart. It brings all those together to give you a false illusion of a self. There's not one single, there's not you in there. And what exasperates this more is when the brain does that, the brain, the frontal lobe now also does a good job of examining its reality. So it sees people personality. It brings that into play, and that gives you and that creates the ego. That's how the ego is born. So you can see what the ego truly is. The ego is just a product of what? Of what it sees, what it remembers, what it creates its own version. Now, you buy into that version. Here's how you buy into the version of the self. Here's how you buy into the version of the self. You buy into the version of the self because of this: feelings, body, emotions, seeing, sight, smell, touch. Those five senses give you the illusion of the self. You want to go deep now? Let's go deep. The reason there cannot be a you or any of this stuff is a repulsive force is the only clue that makes you have an identity of this world. Everything you see around you tricks your brain to make you think you're experiencing reality. It's a little tiny repulsive force. They don't have a name for the force yet. It's like magnetic force. But so you want to go deeper? Let's be sure to go deeper. What you truly are, who you truly are, is a wave. Go look up the meaning of a wave in quantum physics. You are a wave. So here's how it goes. You are a wave of potential possibilities, and then what happens is your consciousness tunes in and you become a version of a physical thing. But in actuality, you're all waves. Nothing is ever at rest. Before something becomes what we call material or real, it must form from a superposition, and then it becomes a definite thing. All particles, their natural states are waves. A wave, an atom, before it becomes the atom, you see it and becomes a force or a thing. It starts out as a wave. A wave means it's in every possible universe outcome in all these multi-dimensional universes. You exist in every possible outcome. Think about that. All your dreams and desires exist at once. You can get them from anywhere. But you tune into this world because of a program to your conscious. I hope this is making sense to you guys. Hope you can understand that, because this can get really deep. Now, this is according to quantum theory, quantum science. These are according to various experiments we're finding out now. That all of this stuff, right? So, with the self, you get the impression of that stuff. Now, separate yourself from yourself by just focusing on the watcher. Let's go back to that repulsive force I was talking about. The force of touch and everything you see, that's not touch. Your brain tricks you. You're feeling the force. The two atoms and the atoms, they have these different charges. They repel like a magnet. So there's the force, the tiny force there. I don't know if they have a name for that force yet, but there's a little force there. We call it like a magnet. And that's the force that gives every single thing in this world the illusion of material or matter. That's it. Your brain decodes that and you see that as reality. Whatever you attach to I am, you become. We are, I like to say you are the being. You are the watcher, you're the higher self, or call yourself the being. Don't call yourself the self or me, the being, because that's what you are. You're being. You're in this present moment. The being is infinite. The self has a shelf life. The self will expire. The being cannot expire. The body will decay and go away. Your consciousness cannot do that. It's impossible to do that. Someone asked me about the UFO thing and the aliens. Well, these whatever we call them, UFOs or aliens, guys, they have been here more advanced before us. Some of these are what they call crypto-terrestrials. So what they call crypto-terrestrials means that Basically, on the human branch of evolution, this was billions of years ago. Put it like this: they are more advanced, like we are to chimps. So look at us today to the chimpanzees. There are, okay, put it in a way you can say. To them, we are like chimps. So they have more, they have advanced more than us. So here's a couple theories going around. One of the theories is this, that they're either crypto terrestrials or they could be also extraterrestrials. I also believe they're extraterrestrials because the universe, if life can happen here, it can happen anywhere, and it happens multiple times. So they're, but let's focus on the ones you see here. Just so that they are extraterrestrials, but they're also crypto-terrestrials. Crypto-terrestrials, they live in the ocean. That's why they have vehicles that can go in the water, unidentified flying objects, UFO, underwater subject. So they inhabit the ocean. Now with these crypto-terrestrials, what they do is they have technology that can morph, or that the technology can, the best way to give you to make it look to you is they exist in dimensions. They have technology that they can be right here next to you, but you can't see them. It's like a cloak, a cloaking thing. They can disguise things. Now the crypto terrestrials, the theory is this, is that when evolution was going on, one of us branched off into Homo sapiens, which is us, and there's this species that we didn't have evidence for, history for, because they were more advanced, and they branch off into the crypto terrestrials. So they're part of our tree, but they're just way more advanced. They watch over us, they see things happening, they have the ability to super advance. And you have the extraterrestrials, which is now from other star systems, extra, out of this universe. Okay, so they've always been here. Yep, it's nothing new. With this, you can go back into the paintings, Leonardo da Vinci, Romans. They were painting the artists during the Middle Age wars. They were painting, and these crypto terrestrials had the vehicles up above in the 12th century flying over us. So they're way advanced. They study us, but they inhabit the ocean. They live more in the ocean. The extraterrestrials, now that's a different story. They may be from other dimensions or other planet, but that's the groundbreaking thing, is they're crypto terrestrials. Where do I fit in? Which one are the very tall ones? The very tall ones are called either the Nordics, or so they're called the Greys, the Arcturians. Only things we look at come into existence. Is this true, Mr. Haughton? Yes. So the next thing now you must know about your brain is, okay, so when people all the time, individuals say, well, Mark, manifest. I want to manifest this. I want to do this. People will say, I want to win the lottery, Mark. I want to manifest so much stuff. I want to do this, Mark. But let me set you straight so you can get right. Because I take my shades off so you can get this one. I'll put my shades back on. But I want you to look into my eyes so you can see this. Okay, you will only ever create or manifest what you believe internally about your reality. You cannot see abundance or lots of money or anything if your mind isn't open to that. If you have a limited mind, you're going to be a limited manifester. If you have a open mind, you'll be a unlimited manifester. That's why I said to individuals, I say always go into things with an open mind. So put my shades back on. So that means that you can examine what's going on around you right now. All of us have caps. You know what a cap is? There's a point where the subconscious stops us. We all have caps. Until you remove the cap, that's when you will get the unlimited stuff. The cap is, your cap, maybe you only ever all good at making 100,000, 200,000, 50,000. Cap, maybe you only make 1 million and you want to go to 5 million, 10 million, whatever. We all have caps. If you want to remove your caps out of your subconscious mind, you have to be awoke, realize this. You have to realize, like, you have to watch your patterns. If your patterns are, if you're making like if you want, say you're making 100,000, 50,000, you want to make 100,000. Every time you go to 100,000, something happens to sabotage you. Voila, you found your cap. It's like, man, so my mind only believes I'm good. I'm only 50,000 good. How do I bring it up to 100,000 good, and then expand it to 200,000, a million? How do I get to be more deserving of love? How can I stop getting into toxic relationships? There's the cap. The patterns will give you an indication. For you to, you have to realize that. So once you realize your pattern, then you can go fix and remove the cap. How do I fix and remove the cap? Now you know it's coming from your subconscious. You want to target it. Hypnotherapy, auto hypnosis, question form of affirmations, keeping your mind focused, reacting. Remember now how you react, changing your vocabulary. Don't see things as failure, see things as feedback. Right? See how that works? Ego exists when I can't measure it. No, no. The ego will always be there. It's your conscious mind. It's to survive, to help you, to keep you safe. Now, the ego becomes a problem because it makes us feel fear, doubt, worry, lack, limitation, judgment, all that. It makes us feel the stuff we don't want to feel. That's where it becomes an issue. So once you understand that the ego is a product of a program, it's easy for you to get out of it. I am hypnotizing myself when I'm consistent with a belief. That's correct. Mark, what is 5 dimension? 5D is anything above 4 dimensions. That's it. 3 dimensions. Up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right, forwards, backwards. 3 dimension. 4 dimension is time. So we live in 4 dimensions, right? So we're not, it's not 3D, it's 4D. We're 4 dimensional beings because we have time. We created time to make sense. Now, anything above 4 is what we call 5D. 5 dimensions now is a dimension where you can see below and look into the 4D. You're not constrained to the 3D. 5 dimensions is a state of higher awareness or consciousness. It's not a physical place you go. You don't go to 5D physically. It doesn't exist physically. It exists in the mental construct. It's in a state of enlightenment or a higher state of awareness. That's where someone was asking me earlier, how do I get downloads? That's where you receive downloads. When you jump into the 5D, you get lots of downloads, right? Mark, do we do affirmations every day? Yes, you should do affirmations at least a couple times a day. What if, how will my life look? What about this? Why is this? Da da da. You don't have to do 100 affirmations, people. You do a couple per day, right? Always do it in question format. Avi asks, Mark, if we want to multiply things to manifest, how do we visualize all? You break them up into scenes. You can't visualize all. Compartmentalize. One scene, put that to the side. Next scene, next scene, next scene. That's how your mind works. Your mind can get everything. Yep, so you see that? If your friends are ahead of you in life and you want to stay on pace, this is Joshua here. If your friends are ahead of you in life and you want to stay on pace with them, do you force yourself to keep up with them or do you move on? Oh, this is all wrong, my friend. You're doing all this wrong. First of all, number one is you never watch other people. You never compare yourself to other people and you never try to keep up with other people because now you're moving from that being and now you're going into the self. So the rule of the thumb is this. This is what gets people depressed and this is what makes you don't get. You compare yourself and watch what other people are doing. Oh man, me and him started, but look, he's already ahead of me. Oh God, look at that. We're in the same thing, but he got more than me. Da, 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 da. They're doing better than me. No, no, no. It doesn't go like that. What's happening is each person or each being has their own purpose and they're going their own way. If you just focus on your part, you will get there. But if you're focusing on that, then you're not in your being. You're in the self. And if you're in the self, you're always going to be chasing somebody else's self. So you always got to stay in your lane and work on your part. Because the truth of the matter is, put it like, where you are right now is where you're supposed to be. Maybe a hard pill to swallow for most people, but it's true. Everything is working out perfectly for you right now. Some of you may not like where you're at, and it's okay. But where you're at right now is where you're supposed to be, and then you're going to move ahead. Now, if you want to change, remember now you have the freedom of choice to accelerate where you want to be, then that's where you have to now go into the mind, and that's where you have to now change your reaction to certain things. How you react will create what you're going to experience. So it's not what happens to you, right? When I say happens for you, is how you react to what happens. Because you're training your brain. Every day we are teaching our brains neuroplasticity, and we're doing it unconsciously. So you have to train your brain to be the positive and the thing that makes you feel good or comfortable, right? Yeah, someone says, yeah, it's very uncomfortable where I'm at in life right now. And that's fine. A lot of us are in places and spaces that we aren't comfortable with. And listen, it's okay because it's temporary. See, what people mess up, and what the ego and that self does, it gives you the illusion of permanent things like, oh, I just go my life. I'm gonna always stuck like this forever. Oh my God, I'm never gonna change. It's never gonna come to me. Oh my God, what's gonna happen to my life? If you get into that, then think about what you're doing. You're training you're showing your brain, this is what's important to me. Being stuck, being in this loop, being negative. See that? The brain is only listening and looking for what's important. We are teaching our brains every day to create what we want in our subconscious. So it's very crucial that we change the approach to how we see things. We have to adjust. We have to say, well, you know what? This is good for me. I can learn this. This is a feedback loop. And you can always find good things in bad stuff and what we perceive to be bad stuff. Right? Believing versus knowing. Yet willful ignorance. Yet knowing is the secret. Mark, what it takes to connect to source. Nothing, my friend. This is Jason Coronado. You are already connected to source. You are source. You're part of the source. All you have to do is learn that you are the watcher, the observer of the mind, and step from aside and view all things as non-threatening, and view things just as, and don't put any labels to things. And you're which source? Just so we can get your downloads. Mark, do we run scenes all day in the mind to manifest fast? You don't have to run scenes all day in your mind, but you do want to keep in the background your goals and your dreams, right? See how it works? So it's very powerful to understand that training your brain to react in a different way creates neuroplasticity that will change your mind, right? Mark, do we practice sexual alchemy and believe that it helps with manifestation? Yes, sexual energy is a very powerful tool you can use to manifest. Are we connected to source? Do you think we are living on the ego? Majority of humans, yes, majority of humans live within the self. You guys are learning to live outside of the self, but we are all one source. We are part of what people call God, community, source, and everything. Look, I have to teach you. I have to show you how the things work, guys, so you could understand and emphasize. Maybe it can give you more freedom and kind of give you more clarity on what it is, guys. Everything you see around you came from nothing, including you. The fact that it came from nothing, what is the only thing that lets us aware of nothing? Awareness, consciousness, our self-awareness. That's the only thing that is real. That's who you are. That's the universe. Mind creates the matter. So you are part of that source. This universe cannot exist without you as a watcher. When you leave here and you go, this universe ceases to exist for you and everybody else in it. You go to maybe another universe, wherever else you go. But you control this universe. You control your environment. You control it now by the fact that you are aware and you can react. Those two things are very powerful. Being aware and react. When you can master those two things, that's when you enter the flow state. I'm going to teach you and show you how to master them. Very simple. First step is awareness is so simple, but many people don't even master or understand what awareness is and how to master awareness. So if you want to master awareness, it's very simple. Awareness is me noticing my thoughts. Awareness is me noticing my environment. Awareness is me tuning in to what's going on in the moment. Awareness is me not judging the stuff coming in, but just watching them like I'm watching the movie, like they're going out. Awareness is me that the stuff that I like come in, I give it a label. Awareness is understanding that this very moment is the only moment that truly exists, and that's important and nothing else matters. Awareness is living in this moment for what it is, appreciating it, and keeping it going. That's awareness. See that? That's part one to get into the flow state. Part two, reaction. So how I react to what I'm aware of. So my reaction. Now this is where I have to change my language and how I interpret this world. My reaction to things now are always going to attempt to be in a neutral stance. So even though my ego would put labels on stuff, I go back and remind myself, Mark, you're the watcher. Look, you're observing. It helps me to settle that down. Then when something comes in, there's no failure anymore. Oh, Mark, this is a feedback. What is this teaching me? Why is this happening for me, not to me? I take out from a victim. Victim is out of my vocabulary. There's no victim mindset here. So what good can come from this? How can this help me? What feedback is this? How can this teach me? How can this make me better? Those are all things I inquire with whatever happens in my life. Then when I do that, I now start to change the chemistry of my brain. Neuroplasticity now starts to take effect. So now my brain now will start to see that, wait a minute, a lot of these stuff this guy used to say, they aren't a threat anymore. So let's calm them down. Let's start bringing into his environment things that will make him feel at peace. And that's now where I'm in the flow state. So now a lot of stuff are going to start to come into my way, will be less stressful and more peaceful. And the more peace you have, the more joy you have. The more joy you have, the more downloads you have. Because all the systems in your body now are at rest. They're not hype. They're not in fight or flight mode. The limbic system now calms down, which allows you to have eustress. There's two types of stress: distress and eustress. Distress is the bad stress, which causes cortisols and inflammation, all that stuff. Eustress is the good stress, which creates endorphins and makes you inspires and makes you think of great stuff. That now will put you in a flow state. Now when you're in a flow state, now you're connected, and that's where you can get a lot of good ideas, good people, good connections. They all start to come in, and you manifest a lot faster. It seems like a lot, but you manifest a lot of great stuff because you aren't attached to anything. Do you see how that works? Okay. This is here. This is just how. Wow, this is amazing. I was thinking of asking this question 15 minutes ago. There's your answer, Josiah. Our Raven Moon says, universe format is simple. Scalar physics, that's been vivid in writings, right? You know, look back in time, guys. The ancient teachers have been showing you all along that this world is an illusion. Nothing is separate, it's all connected. Or does diet have an effect on the subconscious mind and manifesting? Is it detox important, and how do you eat? So diet does not have diet does not have an impact on the subconscious, because the subconscious is infinite. Diet has an effect on the body, which responds. So yes, so diet is important because within the body is the communication tools to the subconscious or to your higher self. So the more you can have the body be more free from clogged up or anything, the more it can receive information. Remember, guys, we are broadcasters. So it's like a Wi-Fi. If you got weak Wi-Fi signal, you're not going to get the best quality downloads. You're not going to get the HD quality stuff. You're going to be lagging, right? But if you have strong, fast internet speeds, oh man, you get all the downloads fast. Your videos come in, everything just loads up really quick. So your body is the hardware for that, to communicate to the universe. So diet is very important. I intermittent fast, as you guys know a lot about me. So that's my diet. I only eat 2 times a day, 2 meals a day. It's been working for me, and it's been helping. Now the thing with it is, for me, it's beneficial because it allows my body to reset and to be more aligned. Now, don't get me wrong, there's things that are going to happen in your life that your body will automatically just go off whack. Hormonal changes, cycles, unforeseen things. Things happen in our life. But overall, your body will stay that way. And it keeps your gut clear. Your gut produces most of those chemicals that go to your brain. So that means you have more free-flowing energy to transmit through what? And look, we transmit magnetite crystals. We transmit within our pineal gland. Your pineal gland actually have crystalline structures that are in the gland. Those crystalline structures communicate. Now remember, guys, crystals. Remember I talk about crystals, the power of crystals, right? Crystals are a great source of communication or optimization. They're really good with optimizing energy. That's why they're all in all your devices, because they can take heat and they can dissipate it and they can transfer it really well so things don't overheat or blow up. You have crystals in your pineal gland. And they have the atomic components in crystals. They are in a lattice structure. Means that they're organized, which they can transfer energy really nice. They're not jumbled up and you get all over the place. So you want to get your antenna, which is your pineal gland, to be broadcasting at the strongest frequency to get what you want. Remember, we live on frequencies. We are frequency beings. You broadcast like a satellite every day you go out. Mark, what are you meaning of goosebumps? Goosebumps is your body, your subconscious mind communicating to you and telling you that this stuff resonates. It's a sign. Goosebumps can be great things. It's telling you that you're in alignment. It's a sign that this is on point. Something great is happening. It's really saying you're in tune with mind and body, right? Or do you believe in spiritual warfare? Yeah, spiritual warfare is happening all the time right now. There's always the yin, the yang, duality. You know, remember, the matrix is here. The more people, the majority, if they could get the majority to be dummied down, they're winning. That's how it works. But you just focus on yourself, right? How do you, Mark, how do you decipher between intuition and paranoia? Intuition will seem like the next logical thing. Paranoia will have a whole bunch of sweating, anxiousness. That's how you know. One will have cool, clear, peaceful emotions. The other one will have uncommon, irrational emotions. That's how you know the difference, right? Mark, how do you foresee the future with the 5D? The future is already here. 5D is a state of consciousness. Now, the great thing is most individuals, a lot of us are headed into the 5D, like with content like mine and other creators, helping to open your guys up and become aware. And we're entering a time now because of information. So more people are being awakened and are entering 5D, which is going to be great for the planet and for consciousness moving forward. Hey Mark, do you believe in palm tree? Yes, of course. Your hands, your eyes, your feet, they tell everything about your body. Your body, everything is a broadcast, right? Mark, do you think taking medication is necessary to heal from disease? Yes, at some point it is important to take medication to heal. But overall, you can do it, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to do that. But sometimes it's a means to an end or a better situation, right? Happy holidays, guys. Happy holidays to you too, right? Predestined. Mark, do you think that all life is predetermined? Yes, your overall blueprint is, and it's like a game within a game. The game is, there's a blueprint of the game. You made this game before you got here. You say, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do. But you give yourself a blueprint so that when you get here, you can have the free will to change course. But the blueprint, that means your outcome is going to be close to the blueprint. Not exactly to the blueprint, because you can change and adjust it, but your overall blueprint is there. One thing you have to remember is that what you truly are. You are not a physical being, guys. You're experiencing physical stuff. But what you are, who you are, is the watcher, the internal, the mechanism, the thoughts, the things, the creator. That's what you are, the conscious awareness of the being. That cannot decease, can't go anywhere. It has to go back to the field. If it goes back to the field, then it has to come back and reincarnate or incarnate into some other field. And now we know that there's multiple universes, different. So you go all over the place. You've been doing this eons ago, all of you. So Understand that and start to take things and stop putting labels on things. That's when you're going to do. Now, you know, to create is a state of being. When you're in a state of being, your emotions and the body is also at a state of rest. The body is more in tune. When you're not hype and you're not worried, you're out of whack. The secret is to get your vibration and the frequency to match what you want. And how do you do that? It's a simple, now people say I'm preaching this, but here it is again. The simple method is anything you want or desire, never make it big. Make it unimportant. Bring it down as nothing. Then it becomes something and you get it a lot easier and faster. That's it. What you put as importance, your brain will create more of that. But if you take your biggest desires and make them unimportant, your brain sees them as not really nothing and puts them in a backlog, which frees up resistance, and you get to manifest it faster. Because now the brain says, this isn't important. This isn't a big thing. Because remember, the brain, and that's part of the ego now. The ego will try to help you to create your desire, but it's limited. So you have to get the ego out of the way. To get the ego out of the way is to make it unimportant and then get the subconscious in, because when it becomes unimportant, the subconscious now can do its job a lot easier without the resistance from the ego. That's the secret to making things unimportant. So that's what I've been doing. Anything like the lottery, it's unimportant to me. It's just fun. I go to people every day I meet them, they make the lottery so important, man. I said, stop doing that. It's a game just within a game. Treat it as a game and having fun, and watch how you'll win so much more. Watch how much more success. Do everything like that. Everything you want. Treat it as a game and fun, and it's unimportant, and it'll come when it comes. And watch how fast you get it. Watch how quick and easy it manifests. And the science behind that is because you take your ego out of the equation and you tune your subconscious into the manifestation process. And voila, it shows up in amazing, precise ways. Mark, do you get lonely having all this awareness? Don't you feel most people around you are just pawns? Now, I used to feel lonely. I used to get that, but I understand that, okay, you have to have empathy, and everyone is not on the same level or on the same pace. And this is where you can help and teach and inspire. So for me, it's a good thing to help people. But I've gotten out of the phase of just seeing people as pawns. I just see people as they're coming up or they're learning, and that helps me. And that's when that's more 5D stuff. When you're in the 5D, you tend to get a lot of the emotions of jealousy, envy, and all that stuff out of the way, out of the ego stuff. And that's good because it creates more peace, right? So that's what you guys, I think, should reach, right? So guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. It was a great live. Probably do this again next week. Enjoy your holidays, and remember, I'll leave you with this. Take everything you desire, make it unimportant, make it like nothing, and you'll see everything you desire become everything easily and effortlessly. All right? See you next time.